tackle the methods of separating mixtures. But first, what is mixture? Mixture is the physical combination of two or more substances in which the identities are retained and are mixed in the form of solutions, suspensions, and colloids. For the first experiment, we would be using a cup of soil and a cup of water. For the first step, we're going to put the water on the extra cup. Next is the soil. And then we're going to stir it. After stirring, you would see that the soil is slowly coming down to the bottom of the cup. And this process is what we call sedimentation. Sedimentation is the process wherein the heavier components settle on the bottom due to gravity. Okay, let's resume the first experiment. After witnessing the sedimentation process, we can now pour the water on the extra cup. As we can see, both the water and the soil is now separated from each other, and this process is called decantation. Decantation is used to separate immiscible liquids that have different densities. For better understanding, here's another example of decantation. For this experiment, we're going to use oil and water. Again, we're going to pour the water into the extra cup. Next is the oil. As we can see, the oil remains on the top of the water and didn't combine into the water. This is because oil is less dense than water. It will always float on top of water, creating a surface layer of oil. And now it is time to separate the oil from the water. So just slowly pour the oil into the new cup until you feel like you pour them all. As we can see, both the water and the oil is now separated from each other. We can see the difference in their colors, and decantation made this all possible. Next method is evaporation. It denotes the conversion of a liquid into vapor for the purpose of separating it from another liquid to higher boiling point or from a solid which is dissolved in. For this experiment, the material needed is the fan, stove, the salt, and the water. Firstly, pour the water into the pan. And then the salt. We can stir it so the salt would be evenly spreaded into the pan. As we can observe, the salt is slowly getting formed circularly. Up to the corner to the middle. As we can see, the salt formed a circular shape. looks like a pancake in a pan. We can scrape it using a spoon, and we can see that the only thing that remains here is the salt, and the water evaporated. This is the magical power of evaporation. The next and would be the last method is the filtration. Is a process used to separate solid from liquids or gases using a filter medium that allows the fluid to pass through. Strainer is the most common filter medium. Using this, we can easily remove the excess water of our pasta. And here's another filter medium. Thin cloth. The other materials that we are going to use here is the water, then the flour, and lastly the spoon. So first, we're going to pour the water into the flour. Then we're just going to stir them and mix them. After that, we're going to put the thin cloth in the rim of the cup, and then we're going to slowly put the mixture into it. And then we're going to slowly squeeze it. And then as we can see, the flour is now on the thin cloth and the water is separated into the cup. This is the water we separated from the flour. And this is how the filtration works.